Here we are in section 2.2 with the solutions to numbers 22 through 28. Number 22 says 27 is 6 more than 3 times the number. What is that number? Here we have an opportunity to pick a variable. Let's call it n. And now we translate this. 27 is 6 more than, that's a plus sign, 3 times a number which we have labeled, we don't know what that number is, n. Let's go over here and solve that equation. 27 equals 6 plus 3n. We have the steps to solve an equation. Now that we're in happy math land, subtract 6 from both sides and we get 21 equals 3n, and divide both sides by 3 and we get n equals 7. Nice. Number 23. 18 less than 5 times the number is 52. So what is that number? I don't know what that number is. Let's call it a variable x and let's translate it. We have 18 less than, which is 18 subtracted from something, 5 times a number. So 5 times the number that we don't know, x. So 5x minus 18. Now that's important. This less than moves them around. That's 18 less than, or 18 subtracted from, is 52. And what is that number? Look at this. We're in happy math land. Let's write that out. 5x minus 18 equals 52. Can we solve that? Yeah, we can. Add 18 to both sides. 5x equals 70. Divide by 5 on both sides, and we get x equals a 14. X is, the number is 14. Excellent. Number 24. A triangle has angles that measure x, 3x, and 72 degrees. Solve for x and find the angle measures. Ooh, what does a triangle do? Now this is a shape and it has a formula. The three angles of a triangle, this one, and that one, have to add up to 180. And that gives us our equation, that x plus 3x plus 72 equals 180. That's the equation that we're going to need to use to solve this equation. Let's write it over here. We can combine these two together and make it a little bit nicer, and we get 4x plus 72 equals 180. If we subtract 72 from both sides, we get 4x equals 108. And divide both sides by 4, we get x equals 27. Now, we did that. We solved for x. We got that to be a 27. Excellent. Now, that means the measures of the angles are 27. 3x then, 3 times 27 is 81, and 72. And we could actually check that to see if 27, 81, and 72, if we add those three up, they do indeed add up to 180 degrees. Excellent. Next one. Number 25, if a cone, we have a shape here, so we look for the formula that has LSA, lateral surface area. And we check in our book, and the formula is LSA equals pi times radius times the slant height. All right, it has an area of 250 feet, so that 250 will go in for the LSA. A radius, that's R, of 8 feet. What is the slant height? So if we stick everything in that we know, 250 goes in for the LSA, the lateral surface area, and that's feet squared, equals pi times R, which is a radius of 8, times L, which, that's what we're trying to find, L. Ooh, can we solve this? Yeah, we can solve this. If we divide both sides by the pi and the 8, we'll call that 8 pi right here. Now, if you want to stick it into your calculator and divide, that's certainly fine. And we'll get L equals 250 divided by 8 pi. Let's pull up our handy dandy calculator and turn it on, and we get 250 divided by, make sure you put the 8 and the pi both on the denominator. If you leave off these parentheses, your calculator might just go left to right and go 250 divided by 8 and then times by pi instead of having pi on the bottom. And we get 9.947, 9.95. 9.95, and this is area is feet squared, radius is feet, so this is the length here is feet. Excellent. All right, number 26, cylinder with the volume equation. So we go to our textbook and say, hey, where is that volume equation for a cylinder? And we get volume equals pi r squared h. Pi r squared h, not a 2 there. Let me clean that up just a little bit and make it look better. Pi r squared h. So let's stick in everything we know. The volume is 538, and notice that's in the correct units. So 538 equals pi times r squared, and here's r, 6. So that'll be a 36 times h, and that's what we're looking for. So we get 538 equals pi times 36 times h. If we write it out here, we get 538 equals pi times 36, so 36 pi h. And look at that, all we have to do to get h by itself is divide by that 36 pi. Divide by 36 pi, and you could turn that into a decimal first. Let's punch it into our handy dandy calculator, and we get 538 divided by 36 pi. And that turns out to be 4.75. Oh, that we better say 76 if we round it 2 decimal places. That 6 will round that up. So we get 4.76. 76. And what units do we have? We're in centimeters cubed for volume, centimeters for radius. So the lengths would be in centimeters. If it were an area we were finding, it would be centimeters squared. Okay, number 27. Find the missing variable for a rectangle. So we have P's and W's and L's. Rectangle is a shape which has a formula that people have already figured out how wonderful. Perimeter equals 2 length plus 2 width. So we stick in everything we know. 39 goes in for P. Then 2 times L, we don't know, plus 2 times W. So 2 times 7.2, which we could see that right there. That's, let's write it over here, 39 equals 2L plus 14.4. Can we solve this equation? Yeah, we can. Subtract 14.4 from both sides, and we get 2L equals 24.6. 24.6, yeah, 14.4 off of that, yes. So then we divide by 2, and we get L equals 12.3. Notice the perimeter is in feet, width is in feet, length will be in feet. Yes, indeed. All right, now number 28, the final one. Find the missing variable for a cylinder. Notice we used a cylinder formula up here with volume. This one, the cylinder, is going to be the SA formula. And if we look that up, we get SA equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. So this comes from the textbook, and the formula people have figured out for hundreds of years that that's how you get the surface area of a cylinder. And alrighty then. Let's stick in what we have. 800 goes in for surface area, so it becomes 800 equals 2 times pi times r, which is 9, h, plus 2 times pi times 9 squared. Whew. Okay, let's give us a little bit more room. We have 800 equals 2 times pi times 9, that's 18 pi. And if you punch this in and have a decimal, that's great. H plus 9 squared is 81 times 2 is 162 pi. So you could put these into decimals. We'll do all that at the end, but if you'd like to, that you can just punch it in and say, oh, what's 162 times pi? And you'll have 508.94. And so you could put that number there. We'll leave that kind of like that so we can move it around without having to worry about all of the decimals sticking with it. We're trying to get h by itself. And yeah, we're in happy math land. If you're trying to get h by itself, subtract whatever's over here, minus 162 pi, minus 162 pi. Excellent. So that's 800 minus 162 pi. And you could simplify this. If you had turned that into the number 508.94, you would then have 291.06, I think. which is perfectly fine. And then 18 pi h, getting h by itself, we're going to divide by 18 pi. Divide by 18 pi. And so we get h equals, and punch this all in together, we have 800 minus that 508.93 there. We'll do that by second answer, and that will keep all of the decimal places, so our answer will be as accurate as possible. Yep, 291.06, and divided by, again, include the 18 and the pi in the denominator by using parentheses there. And we get 5.147, 5.15, 5.15. Surface area was in inches squared, and the radius in inches, so this is in inches. And you notice that actually happens. This right here was pi times the radius, so this was in inches, and this right here was in inches squared because it was 2 pi r squared. Inches would have been squared, subtract that off, inches squared minus inches squared is inches squared, divided by inches gives us the right units. So that's kind of cool. Alrighty, there we go.